We shall start off by using a straight edge of a paper. We shall start by measuring using a straight edge of a paper, and for that matter we need a representation of a small map. We need a map. For instance, this is our simple map. This is our map. Let us have a small representation of a map. This is the map in the question, because we are getting the measurement from a map, from a straight distance on a map. So there must be a map. And I'm assuming this is our map. This is our map. This is where we shall get our straight line, our straight platform. It can be a river, it can be a railway, it can be a coastline, anything that they will ask or you can be asked in a map. And we shall also have our linear scale down here. We shall have our linear scale down here. For now, you know what is a linear scale. You know what is a linear scale. You'll get your linear scale with down there. That is our linear scale for today in kilometers. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one is enough. This is what we learned in our last session, a linear scale, because we agreed that you cannot get a distance in a map without a scale, because a scale will translate whichever measurement we shall get here into the actual measurement on the ground. Now, if this is, I'm assuming now this is our road, our tarmac road. This is our tarmac road. Tarmac road. And it is a straight road. This is our straight tarmac road. And we are required to get the measurement of this tarmac road in this map. So this one, looking at it, it is a straight road. So that's why with our first concern is measuring of straight. We shall get to measuring of curved. This is measuring a straight road. It can be a road. It can also be, we can have another one here, can measure another one. Maybe there is another one here, but this one again is not a road. Now that is a railway. Looking at it is a straight railway. Looking at this one is a straight road. Maybe we can have another one. We can have another one, a river. We can have a river. Maybe it is meandering, but if it gets to there, it is kind of straight from the market. Maybe there is a market. There is a market there. There is a market there. Then they ask you to get the measurement of the river from the market junction to the southern part of the map. So this one is a straight distance of that river. So how do you measure? After recognizing, after identifying which are these straight lines that we are talking about. These are straight road, these are straight railway, this is a straight river. So how do you get their measurement now that you have the scale and now we are using a straight edge of a paper? Now you get your straight edge of a paper. This is your straight edge of a paper. Because it is a straight line, you use a straight edge of a paper. First step, you don't bring your straight edge of a paper and start measuring. No. You take your straight edge of a paper, make a mark somewhere. Make a mark somewhere on that edge and write it as A, point A. Point A. Mark in your straight edge of a paper, point A. That will be your starting point. Then, if you are getting now the edge of the road, your marked point is the first. You make sure that that marked point is where that road starts, up to where that road ends, and you mark it as point B. You have marked point A while outside. You have placed point A from where the road starts, it is a straight road, until where the road ends. And that's where you are required to measure. Then you bring those two marks, mark A and mark B, to your scale. Mark A and mark B to your scale. Why are you bringing it to the scale? Because the scale is the one that will translate the readings on the map to the actual reading on the ground. So according to this one is 3.1 kilometers. So this is approximately 3.1 kilometers on the ground. Maybe to give another example, we want to get the straight length of this railway line on this map. So the first step again, your straight edge of a paper, mark 1 point. Point A. You have marked point A. Then from that point A, make sure that that point A corresponds to the starting point of that straight railway, to where it ends. Where it ends, make sure you mark that point again as your point B. Now you have 2 points. Point A, the first point, to point B, your second point. Then you translate your measurement to the scale. The scale is the major thing. The scale is the major thing because it is the one that will give you the actual measurement. And this one is also going to also approximate, maybe they were almost the same. It is becoming the 3.0 kilometers. 3.0 kilometers. Maybe you can measure also this one using another straight edge of a paper. Straight edge of a paper. And I have said you mark the first point outside the map. Our point A, there. Where do you go with your point A? To where you are required. We are required to get the distance, the length of the river from the market to the southern part. So our point A corresponds there until where the river disappears to the south. It will be our point B. Then carry your 2 points to your scale and let them be translated to the actual distance of the ground. And this one translate like to 2.1, approximate 2.1 kilometers. When it comes to the actual distances, it is an approximate. So this one is approximate 1.2 kilometers, 1.2 kilometers. This one is 3.1 kilometers, and this one is 3.0 kilometers on the ground. On the ground. That is using a straight edge of a paper. Very, very easy. Maybe to repeat what I'm saying is that when you have a straight edge of a paper, mark the first point outside the map. And your first point, then your first point, you place it to where you want to start until where you are required to measure, until the length at which you are required to measure, then mark point B, then translate. Never forget to translate your readings on the scale, because the scale is the one that translates your reading on the map to the actual reading on the ground, using a straight edge of a paper. Using a straight edge of a paper. Using a ruler is very, very simple. Using a ruler is very, very simple. but there is a caution when you're using a ruler. Most learners forget the scale because they are using a ruler, and that is the trick. For instance, you have a ruler, well and good. You have opted to use a ruler, it is allowed, and you measure your straight edge that this is 2.2 according to my measurement is 2.2 centimeters. Most pupils know, and the learners will go to the answers and look at the answer that is written 2.2 centimeters. They forget that when you are using a ruler, you measure and make sure that you have marked on your ruler. You have marked on your ruler. Make sure that you have marked on your ruler. Make sure that you have marked on your ruler. The reason why you are marking on your ruler is because the measurement on the ruler do not matter. In this case, you are using just a ruler is because it was a straight edge. What matters is the reading on the scale, not the reading on the map. And that is why we have marked in our ruler. We did not take the measurement direct from the ruler. You have to mark on your ruler so that you bring your measurement here, and your measurement is coming to 3.1 kilometers again. So you can see there is no 3.1, approximate 3.1 kilometers using your ruler. I want to repeat again and again, when you're using a ruler, and that is why personally and we recommend using a straight edge of a paper, because sometimes, I want to repeat again, sometimes pupils forget, learners forget that the ruler's measurement do not matter. What matters is the measurement on the scale. So do not forget to mark on your ruler so that you can translate the measurement you have recorded on your ruler to the scale. Let's measure another one using a ruler. Measure a straight edge, and this time round it is a railway line, and this is our edge. Mark it. Mark that on your ruler. Mark that on your ruler. Why are you marking? Because the ruler marking is not important. What is so important is that mark on your ruler, because the scale is the one that is supposed to give us the actual reading. The actual reading, and that is 3.0 kilometers using a ruler. Maybe to finish, or to give another example, make sure that you erase all the marking on your ruler so that they don't cause any confusion. Erase all the markings in your ruler when you're doing another one, or when you are repeating. In sometimes you feel like you have made a mistake and you need to repeat, make sure that there are no markings on your ruler. The same when you are using a straight edge of a paper and you felt there was a mistake, make sure that that straight edge of a paper does not have any single marking, so that you don't get confused on to which point you marked. Using a ruler again, mark the distance required and make sure that you mark that one on the ruler so that you can translate those markings. Again, it is approximately 2.1 kilometers. 2.1 kilometers. So this is how you can measure a straight distance. Using a straight edge of a paper, or using a ruler. And we always recommend, and even the Ministry of Education in Kenya always recommend the use of a straight edge of a paper, but a ruler is also an option and it is viable and it will give you accurate and correct answer if you follow the instruction, and more so the instruction of the scale, and translating all your measurement through the given scale. Maybe to recap what we have learned today is that we were trying to measure distances of a straight line on a map. A straight line may be a straight road, a straight railway, a straight river. What can we use to measure? We can use a straight edge of a paper. This one here, a straight edge of a paper, and make sure it is a straight edge of a paper. Make sure it does not have any markings. And when you're using a straight edge of a paper, I have explained that you need to make your first point as point A. And this one you have marked it before translating or before measuring in the map. Then after your first point, then you mark your second point and translate those measurements on the scale. You make another mark A, you measure, you translate. You measure, you translate on the scale. Remember all the measurement must come to the scale, must be brought to the scale so that the actual readings on the ground are recorded using a straight edge of a paper. And again, we have also looked at how you can use a ruler, and I've said a ruler, you have to mark on the ruler. You have to mark on the ruler. And maybe something else, you must make sure that the 0 point, the first part of this, the centimeter, the 0, is your first. The reason why we are not marking the first point on the ruler is because the ruler it has been marked for you. 0 should always be your first position. 0 will be your first position. Then your last position, where the distance you mark. You're not marking point A because it is already marked for you. If it is here, the 0, it is the first mark. Not the edge of the ruler. Not the edge of the ruler. The marking should be your first point. Not the edge of the ruler, the marking. The 0 marking should be your initial point. Just like the way on the straight edge of a paper, we were making the initial point as point A. And we marked on that edge of a paper because it has no markings. But this one, it has markings. Your first marking always is on 0. Your second marking depends on the distance, depends on the length. Then on the length, we have said to the point where it ends, you make your second mark. So on the ruler, there's only one mark. There's only one mark. Edge of paper, 2 marks. Ruler, 1 mark. Which mark? The last part. The last part, because the first part you'll always be given. And I hope that you are now in a position to measure a straight line on a map, either using a straight edge of a paper or using a ruler. So for your homework, so that you can practice what we have done here, you can have activity 5 on Social Studies Book 8, Our Lives Today. It will give you an exposure of exactly what we have done here, and it will be a very, very easy activity for you. Until next time, God bless you. See you.
CPA students can now access top-notch lecturers anytime from anywhere. Download CPA video lectures from www.manifestedpublishers.com.
Manifested Publishers Limited is a research and teaching center that specializes in the production of learning materials and private online tuition for primary, secondary, tertiary, and university education. Sign up as a new customer at www.manifestedpublishers.com. Fill in the required credentials, full name, email, phone number, and password. Click on Sign Up. Enter the code received on your phone or email address for verification of your account, then proceed by clicking on Confirm button. Your account is ready for use and you can watch some free videos before you purchase. To get access to complete videos, use the following steps to buy. Click on View All Courses. Select the course you want to subscribe to. Click on the subject you want. Click on Buy this subject. The selected subject will be added to cart. Place or hover the cursor on cart or total amount and click on Checkout Now to proceed. Click on Lipa na M-Pesa and proceed to pay. To access your lessons, place the cursor on your name, then click on Subscriptions. To download videos for offline studying, click on Watch Offline. Download the manifested e-learning desktop application depending on your computer operating system. Install the application on your computer. Sign in on your downloaded app using the credential used during registration. Place your cursor on your name, then click on Subscriptions. Click on the subject you purchased. On the top right window, click on Download for offline viewing. Click on Go to Course. In your new window, click on the first topic, Lesson 1. Downloading process begins automatically. Thank you for choosing to study with us. For more information, you can call us on 0724 173845.